Yes, you guys, and how are all of you doing today? I'm NiniFC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to a 4 talking points video after that heartfelt loss against Liverpool last night. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk about Jorginho, Kante, PELISEK, and why I feel Frank Lampard has brought back the spirit to this club. However, before I get into any of that, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. Make sure you guys download the app. Honestly, convenient, super convenient. And throughout this season, you're going to use the OneFootball app way more than you originally expect. That's why I'm constantly stressing the convenience of the app. If you guys want to do yourselves a favor, you'll find the OneFootball app in the link in the description below. And if you do like today's video, don't forget to smash that like button. Help me get more than 1,500 likes for today's video. Now to get straight into the first talking point, I'm going to talk about how Super Frank himself has brought back that spirit to the club. Now, when I watched the game last night, my emotional investment was very high. And it was funny because obviously my girl had to bait me out on her Snap story, as you guys can see. But honestly, throughout the game last night, I was shouting my flat down. I was loud, I was banging my fist, and I was pumped. And it's felt like a while since I've felt those emotions. And I do feel confident that as the season does go on, we are going to feel that same emotional resonance. But you guys know how I think, I love to analyze everything. It got me thinking, why haven't I felt the same way in previous seasons? And then it hit me. The emotional connection has never been as strong as it could be because nothing is sacred at this club. As fans, we've learnt this the hard way time and time again. We've seen our best players leave when it's unexpected. We've seen managers leave like Mourinho. Now with Mourinho, we all felt as a collective fan base that, okay, this guy is going to be our Sir Alex Ferguson. When he came back that second time, we all felt that, wow, this is it. But even that ended in disaster. And as a fan base, it does make you more wary about how emotionally invested you get into the team. Like, come on, since Mourinho left, we've had 3 managers right now. However, it's when it comes to the third one, Super Frank Lampard himself, this is where I'm feeling really excited and really optimistic. And with Lampards Return, it does feel like the spirit is going to return back to the team. It feels like those emotional ties are strong now because we have players on the field who have their own agendas. And those agendas are to prove the fan base wrong, to prove the naysayers wrong, and to most importantly, play for this shirt because for most of these guys right now, that's all these guys have wanted to do. And I think this feeling that Lampard is cultivating in the squad right now, and Lampard is going to know all about this because it's the same spirit that he had when he was playing. And it feels like Lampard is trying to cultivate this spirit at the club right now. And I think this is why last night we looked like a team that was possessed. We saw zero fear yesterday. We saw pure competition, pure desire, pure pride, and pure determination. And as fans, that's all we can ask for from our team. Now, maybe the connection hasn't been as strong recently due to uncertainty from players, managers, and the politics happening behind the scenes as well. But now, it seems that Lampard is cultivating this spirit. And for me, this does make me feel a lot of pride as a fan. I'm happy to see one of our former players leading this club into the next generation, relying on a lot of young players that I've been watching since they were kids. I mean, it's years of investment into these guys. And now it feels like all this emotional connection is finally paying off. It makes me proud to think that one of our own is leading us to the future. And this season is going to be full of emotional highs and lows. And I'm really here for it. I really am. And this for me is what it means to be a fan. And I'm hoping that with this team, with what Lampard does, that it inspires us. I'm hoping it inspires us fans and future fans to come. Now, moving on to the second talking point, and forgive me because I'm going to play this video on loop because this really felt like an iconic moment I was witnessing. I'll be talking about Jorginho, and last night, Jorginho let us know he isn't in Sarri's shadow anymore. And wow, was this guy a shining light last night. Now, it's going to be a risk using this clip, but I feel like I really have to use it. The amount of goosebumps I got from this moment, the mentality from him, the focus, the desire, the determination. It was the face of pure competition. He knew he needed to score that goal for the team. And a lot of people have dismissed the Super Cup. But how can you when the cup brings out this level of desire and competition from players? And as I've been saying already, it felt like I witnessed an iconic moment. And it was deserving for a player that's been misunderstood, overlooked and dismissed for too long. Now, playing wise, Jorginho does remind me of a Thiago Motta, with his ability to dictate the game, start attacks, as well as being key and vital from a tactical aspect. Now, of course, he isn't perfect. His weaknesses can be that sometimes he does lose his marker and he doesn't follow every run from behind, but he's getting better at that. And that's not a good enough reason to dismiss the tons of positives he brings to the team. Now, too often in football, we only focus on what players can't do without praising them for what they bring. And Jorginho has proven to me that he's a key mid for the team. Teammates clearly trust him. The reason why he gets so much respect from the team is that he's very brave. Now, what do I mean by bravery? It's simple. He calls for the ball whilst he's being constantly marked, which is brave to do. And it's this selflessness in which he plays that really helps the team. And I do hope that as the team does progress, Jorginho's passes will pay off. He will get the recognition for them. Because as players, I think it's about time now that a lot of these guys start to finish from the good work that Jorginho starts. Now, I know it's a bit of a side note, but I have to say it. I saw Rodri getting praised left, right and centre for Man City. And obviously, playing for Man City always meant that the guy was going to get gassed already. But for me, he's going to be fortunate this season because he has tons of experience and older, world-class attacking players in front of him. With Jorginho, he's proven for me that the guy is a top pro. He's acclimatized to the pace of the Premier League beautifully. And I think as a fan base, it's time. Moving on to the third talking point, and we need to talk about N'Golo Kante's 2-hour masterclass against Liverpool. To play that game at that level with that intensity when he isn't fully fit just yet, I still can't compute it. It still makes no sense to me. And it really was one of Kante's best ever performances wearing our colours. Liverpool couldn't cope with Kante, but what impressed me the most was to see the evolution of the player. Now, last season, people kept saying Kante was limited. He can't be playing in the role Sarri's using him. He needs to stay behind and protect the back four. As a lot of us already know, we know that Kante has a lot more to his game. And it was a brave call from Sarri to cultivate that from Kante, to bring out those attacking instincts and to help hone and define them. And last night, we saw the culmination of Kante's evolution as a player. From an offensive point of view, it was spectacular. The way he was important in those midfield rotations, out wide with the fullback and our wingers, was incredible. And that's an area which he's improved upon drastically playing for us. However, in the final third, his use of the ball, his ability to find the pass, in particular, there was this one pass to Emerson with his left foot, a low-driven one, which was impressive, and it was the right pass to make. And what I loved about seeing Kante play was the confidence in which he was making these passes, because I know Kante, I've watched this guy a ton, and I say the only weakness he had was that sometimes he was hesitant playing the right forward pass if he had to. Maybe that came down to a lack of self-belief. Maybe he felt like he couldn't play that style of pass. But last night, I saw none of that fear. I saw none of that hesitancy. And I really feel like N'Golo Kante has found a new level. And this season, we're going to witness this culmination of all the hard work Kante's put in. And I need to say thank you, Sarri. Grazie, Sarri. He gave Kante a challenge, which Kante accepted, worked very hard at. And now we're starting to see the rewards for that hard work. Last night against Liverpool, he completed the most take-ons with 8 and he produced 4 opportunities. Now, Kante wasn't doing this last year, but now he has. And when you realise that he's adding an offensive arsenal to his already complete game, I mean, we saw it last night, you guys. The introduction of him to the first team greatly improved us. Our pressing game infinitely improved. And as I kept stressing last season, this year, we're going to see what N'Golo Kante is really about. Now, moving on to the fourth talking point, I want to talk about Christian PELISEK. And last night, this guy impressed me. He really did. And he made me think about a lot of things. Now, if you guys didn't realize, I still haven't gotten over losing Eden Hazard's, but I think with Christian Pulisic, he could play a part in helping me do this. Now, with Christian, it's not fair to compare him to Eden Hazard's, even though there are some nice similarities in their game. You know, Christian Pulisic is that style of winger that's able to play between the lines. He has that playmaking ability to him. He attacks the space as well, runs in behind. But most importantly, he has that Hazard acceleration where he's so fast in the first like 10 to 20 meters that no one can compete. And we saw a prime example of this when Christian first came on and went past Wan-Bissaka. Now, as I said before, I don't think it's fair to necessarily compare Pulisic to Hazard, because Hazard, with how he played the game fundamentally, was completely different. And that difference is Pulisic is much more direct, whilst Hazard was a player that really kind of played for himself. And I think the best way to replace Eden Hazard isn't to try and copy what he did, but it's to evolve our style, develop it. And I think that the signing of Christian Pulisic really does symbolize this. With what Lampard is trying to do, you know, we're seeing some similarities in play style to how we were playing last season. However, Lampard is providing his own twist. He understands that he does need to be adaptable. He has to make these players feel familiar in the system, as well as slowly trying to move things on. And I think Lampard's doing it in the exact right way, and it helps him that he has a great array of players that really help complement what Lampard's trying to bring. Lampard wants speed, and the first thing we've noticed immediately is how fast we are. But as I've been stressing all the time, to be able to play a style of football like this, you need to have the key components, and that's exactly what Lampard has in guys like Pulisic, Mount, Tammy Abraham and Pedro. Getting back to point, I don't think that we should get too gassed by Pulisic, because I still think we need to have a degree of realism when it comes to his season. It's going to be a great learning curve for the player. I hope that the fans are going to be patient. There are going to be games where he does make mistakes, but I think that as fans, we're going to be in for a real surprise once we see Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi doing their thing. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you guys later.